My, the New York Times under fire for a story about a Minnesota man whose identity was reportedly stolen by an illegal immigrant. The victim faced years of IRS fines and was even charged in a wrongful death lawsuit. The Times headline, 2 men, 1 identity, they both paid the price. Vice President J.D. Vance responding, what shameful framing from the NYT. Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent for the Federalist, and Joe Concha, Fox News contributor. Welcome to both of you. So I want to put on the screen for our audience some reaction from a couple of United States senators, and then I'll get you guys to weigh in. From Senator Jim Banks of the great state of Indiana, quote, Democrats' open borders let illegal aliens steal our jobs and identities. Americans are paying the price, and New York Times is painting the criminal illegal as a victim. Shameful. Then Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming. Absolutely ridiculous article from the NYT. This illegal alien stole a hardworking American's identity and upended his life for years. But the NYT portrays the twice-deported, repeat DUI illegal alien as the true victim. Brianna, what is your assessment of this issue?
You know, Mike, there is this really disturbing trend right now amongst the propaganda press where they are trying to humanize these violent, criminal, illegal aliens, and they do it for one purpose and one purpose only. They want to guilt Americans out of their God-given right to sovereignty, to their borders, and to their laws. And let me explain how. It's not just this New York Times story. The New Yorker has a glowing expose this week out about a Jamaican national who's been living here illegally for 50 years and also murdered someone. He has an order of removal, and yet they described him as a Jamaican national who was shackled and thrown on a plane and sent out of here, and compared him to enslaved black Americans. You had the Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an alleged human smuggler and wife beater who was really just actually a Maryland father and a sympathetic dad, right? So the purpose of all these stories is if Americans can be taught to sympathize with the worst of the worst, murderers, repeat offenders, then it becomes a lot easier for the propaganda press to gin up opposition when illegal aliens who have not committed violent crimes are getting deported. So they are trying to make mass deportations politically unacceptable by desensitizing Americans to lawlessness.
I want to share with you and our audience what the New York Times told Fox News Digital, quote, what audiences expect of reporters at the Times is a full picture of what's happening in the country and not supporting or opposing any one political agenda. This article helped our readers better understand the complexities of immigration in America today and the government's difficulty in dealing with the increasingly common problem of identity theft. How do you assess it, Joe?
Oh, shut the front door, New York Times, on this one. I mean, they're saying that their reporters, sorry, they don't oppose or support any one political side. You know, the last time the New York Times actually endorsed a Republican presidential candidate, you have to go back to Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956. But they don't take a side or anything, even though they endorsed Carter twice, Mondale, Dukakis. I could go down the line. And look, I can't believe that the framing here is that there are 2 victims. And remember, a lot of people just read the headlines. They scroll on Twitter or Facebook. They think they get the gist of it. And they don't even read the article, especially if it's behind a paywall, which is what happened here. And you mentioned this before, but I think this bears repeating, Mike. This guy was arrested for multiple DUIs. He also killed a grandfather and injured a 9-year-old girl when he plowed into them in his car while they're on his bike. He presents the other driver's license of a legal resident, the one that you see there on your right. Yep. And then that guy was hit with a wrongful death suit. Imagine having your name attached to something like that. So I'll leave it here. The editors of the New York Times who greenlit this, they should resign in disgrace, but instead they're probably going to get a raise and a promotion.
Jersey Joe Concha, Brianna Lyman, great to see you both. Happy Thanksgiving.
Westfield's finest. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Brianna.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.